I'm joined with Fantasy, who's on the road getting ready for a Magnificent Ladies Wrestling Weekend. Hello there, Fantasy.
Hey, how you guys doing?
Doing real good, and thank you for joining me this evening.
Oh, absolutely. My
So,
pleasure.
so, we definitely going to talk about your weekend coming up and the fact that you're going to be inducted into the TWA Hall of Fame. We'll talk about that in a few minutes. And I appreciate you calling in. I know you're on the road, you're busy, you're getting ready for a busy weekend. And again, I appreciate you for being on. Um,
Oh, no problem. No
so
problem at all.
let's go ahead and begin. How did your wrestling career got started? What made you decide to become a wrestler?
Well, I started watching and going to shows when I was just about, I guess, about 6, 7 years old. And at 12 years old, I was begging the owner of TWA, which is Doug Watkins, to train me. And he was like, "No, you're too young. You're too young. You're too young. You got to wait till you're older." So I took that as, okay, I can't, do pro right now, so I'm going to try out for the junior high wrestling team. Well, I tried out for my junior high at Ringgold High School, Ringo, Georgia, and ended up making the team. I was the only female on the team and come in second in the Birmingham state tournament. So, I mean, that was pretty incredible for a female. And I carried it on through high school. And after high school, after I had my children in 2001, I decided, well, let's start training, and I'm going to start being. I want to be a pro. I mean, I went to TWA, and I just, he approached me and remember me. And there's actually pictures of me hugging, these wrestlers that were, I was watching as I was growing up, and even got to still wrestle them, and them actually helped me train to be what I am today. And so, I mean, I also had four brothers that, they kind of beat me up a little bit every day just to make me tough. So, so if I would have had a sister, and I was the youngest one, if I would have had a sister, they ain't no telling what I would have done to her. But I mean, I got into pro wrestling just because, I mean, it was just the love of it. I started watching it when I was really young, going to Indy shows and watching these guys, and and I was so happy that I got to even wrestle some of those guys when I started, after I started training and got in the ring. It was pretty incredible. I mean, I've got to wrestle, Luna Vachon and AJ Styles, and just, I could keep naming names, Lexley Foss and Malaya Husaka. Good grief, I can just keep going. Angel Williams, Angel, as she goes by Angelina Love now. Madison Rain. I mean, Rain from, she was at TWA for a little bit. Daphne. I mean, a bunch of incredible people that I've got to wrestle on the road, and I've got, to experience things that are just absolutely incredible. And I mean, I love it. It's in my blood. It's in my blood. I can't stop. I mean, when I was out for about a year rehabilitating my knee because I had torn my meniscus, it was be able to be in the ring. I mean, it killed me, and I mean, I rehabilitated my knee myself. I didn't want to have the surgery. I didn't want to go through all that. So, and my husband, he, if it wasn't for him helping me, get through that year, I would have went crazy. I would have literally went crazy. But as soon as I hit that ring, everything just came right back. And it's been 13 years now, and I can't I can't stop.
That's amazing. From how you started, how you worked your way up, and getting a chance to work with some of the big names. And I mean, like you said, 13 years later, you're still here. That being said, did you see yourself what even making it to 13 years? Did you have hopes that you would make it this far?
What I said when I started training, honestly, I said, I want to be Anella Mula and Mae Young. I want to be able to be their age and still take some of the bumps and stuff that they did in the ring. They were absolutely amazing, and they paved the way for women wrestling. They paved the way for women wrestling. And I mean, it's just just I don't. It's just amazing, that I can keep going the way that I mean. It's been one rush, but like no other. I mean, I was a big tomboy. I mean, like I said, I had four older brothers, and I raced go-karts. I was the only female that did that. Then I was racing straight track. That wasn't my game. Wrestling was what was in my blood. And, I mean, my brothers beat me up, like I said. So if I was going to get beat up, then I might as well get paid for it. So it carried me on through wrestling.
And all I can say is I'm happy for what you've been able to accomplish, and you're on the right path. If you definitely want to, follow the footsteps of a fabulous Moolah and Mae Young. I mean, 13 years, right? And you haven't suffered too many severe injuries, so I say why not keep it going for as long as you can. As long as you got that passion for it, keep it moving, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. I mean, wrestling has changed so much today. I mean, they have, there's a lack of respect in some of the independent, circuits, and that's what I was trained with so much respect for this business. I was trained so old school, and I wasn't trained as a female. I was trained as a male because there was no females wrestling at that time in my area whatsoever. So I was trained as a male. If I was scared to do something, or if I was, I said no to a move, my arms were wrapped in the ropes and I was chopped. I mean, and it wasn't an insult to me. It made me tougher. And I mean, now when I get in the ring, it's it's a fearless thing. And I hate to say that I'm fearless about it, because every time you get in the ring, there's a chance of getting hurt. But you have to trust that person that you're in the ring with to take care of you just like you would take care of them, and that's the respect of it today.
I'm so glad that you say that, and I think that's something that maybe wrestling fans may not understand. Like, obviously, you in the ring, you're going up against an opponent, but you are aware that you obviously there's going to be some contact involved, but it's all about making sure that the one or the other person don't get hurt. It's all about just pulling out the best match that you can, and and just be aware of the don't
taking care of each other.
Taking care of each other.
I mean, that's exactly what I mean. It's the only thing that you worry about today is because the respect in the business has gone away because a lot of the old school guys are not around anymore, and so it's like it hurts to see that happen in a business, because usually when you walk into a dressing room, you're shaking hands and you're talking to people. Nowadays people go in dressing rooms, they just go in and they start getting ready, and that's something that I learned from the very beginning. You don't walk into a dressing room without shaking everyone's hand and introducing yourself, showing them mutual respect. And that's one thing that's lacking really, really bad in the business these days. But I mean, then there's some independent, like I said, are just absolutely great with respect. But it's hard to find those these days. It really is.
I definitely understand where you're coming from, and I appreciate someone like yourself, for being in this business for so long, and you still have the same passion that you have had from the get-go. And I've been a fan of yours for a few years, not just on the indie scene, but you've worked for custom companies such as Magnificent Ladies Wrestling, which you are in their area. getting ready for a busy weekend. Slamming Ladies, Sleeper Kids World.
Yes,
Just, I mean, that had to be a lot of fun, working for those companies. And before I get into that, like I've already brought up, you're going to be inducted into the TWA Hall of Fame. And
yes, it's
how does
truly an
that make you
honor.
feel? How does that make you feel?
It was. I was not expecting it. I really wasn't because it's all males in the TWA Hall of Fame. It's all males that's been inducted. There's never been a female inducted, and so for me, it was like when I found out, I was, it was just such an honor and such a privilege to be put in the TWA Hall of Fame, even though that show has run for 20 years, and it just recently closed down, and it's just it killed me because I just had surgery and couldn't actually wrestle the last match of the show, and it just killed me because I was like 4 weeks after my surgery, and I couldn't get in the ring yet. And it was pretty major surgery, so it was something that I couldn't stand it, and it hurt me so bad. And I thought, okay, I'm just going to be on the back burner, and I don't think that that they would really see what I've done. I mean, because everywhere that I went, all across the U.S., from the West Coast all the way up the East Coast, South, Florida, all the way down toward Miami and South Indio, South was Seminole Indian Reservation, something like that. Anyway, it was way down there. It's about 30 miles away from Miami. I mean, it's just, I carried that TWA name. I'd let people know where I come from. That was my home. And it's just a great, great honor for Doug Watkins and them to induct me into the TWA Hall of Fame. Because I really wasn't expecting anything like that. I was going to go do the show no matter what, but I wasn't expecting to be inducted at all.
You know what they say in the wrestling business, fantasy, never say never. And for you to be the first female to be inducted to their Hall of Fame, I mean, that's awesome. Everybody wants to be the first at something, so let that sink in. The first female to be inducted into the TWA Hall of Fame. Congratulations are in order towards you.
Thank you so much.
So, in addition to TWA, I know Magnificent Ladies Wrestling. You're getting ready to do some matches with them. Talk about what's it like working for the custom companies such as Magnificent and the Slamming Ladies and other companies you've worked for throughout the years. What's the experience been like working for the custom companies?
It's been really incredible. I've met some really great people. I mean, like I have a match with Miss Natural, which I worked with her up in Ohio when I worked Angelina Love at a show, and it just I've met so many different people that are workers, from all these different areas. And at Super Kids World, I helped bring in Angel and Rain and Tanisha when she was there. I forget what she went by when she was at TNA. But I mean, I brought Daphne in, and to build up with Super Kids World, and got them wrestling, doing customs. I told them, because there's nothing sexual in it. He doesn't do anything like that, or MLW doesn't do anything like that. It's professional wrestling, and even though sometimes it's on the mat, we still try to make it as most professional as we can get it. And it's something that it's pretty amazing. It's pretty incredible. Right now, we are actually on the road to go help set the building up for tomorrow. We had just left the motel, and we were on the road to go help set the building. So that's where we're going right now to help Destiny set up the building.
That's also, and that's something I did not know as a for Sleeper Kids were that you recruited those, these wrestlers such as Angelina Love and others to be on Sleeper Kids were. So I mean,
Yeah,
if there was a Hall of Fame for SKW, you'd be first ballot in my book.
even like Sumiko, I've got Sumiko. She's incredible, and she's a great friend of mine. And I mean, I even helped train her in the ring, and she's incredible in the ring. Absolutely amazing. The girl's absolutely amazing, and I mean, she can do anything. Hey, I mean, moonsaults, backflips, stuff like that. No, she can't do those. But anything else, I mean, she can do it, and it's absolutely amazing that these girls can come in, and I mean, some of them may be models and this and that come into Super Kids World, not to MLW because you got to know what you're doing when you're coming up here. But when they come into Super Kids World and they're models and stuff, Sankey normally, if I'm down there, lets me try to train them just a little bit before we ever do anything or shoot anything, just to get them in the groove of what we're doing. And you can't really call them professional wrestlers, but they're truly trying, and it's amazing that some of these girls can actually go even further. And I mean, even with just the customs, I mean, Sumiko's opened her own custom thing that she's running, and it's called Sumiko Dreams, and I've worked for her. And actually, on May the 3rd, my daughter and I go up and work for her, and she's just in Cleveland, Tennessee. But I mean, it's amazing some of the people that you meet with these customs, and honestly, they're very respectful. Everyone there is very respectful.
I have heard some things about your sister and the fact that you two are going to be doing Sleeper Kids World together in the near future. And considering that she's getting into wrestling herself, did you encourage her to get into the business, or did she reach out to you like, "Hey, mom, I see what you're doing, and that's something that I would like to do"?
Well, both my son and my daughter, when they were younger, they would always get in the ring after shows with me and take bumps and do hair and garados and do head scissors and all kinds of stuff with me. And so they had that in going for them. And then they stopped. My son stopped, and he got into Xbox, and he kind of stopped, wanting to go to shows. My daughter continued to go to shows. But, I'm actually a grandmother, and since my daughter has had her baby, she looks like she has never had a child in her life. And my grandson is 16 months old, and she just asked me, she goes, "Mom, could I do customs with you?" And Santy had been wanting to use her for a long time, but we wanted to wait till she turned 18. You don't want to do anything with anyone younger, really, than 18. And, so that's what we did. We waited until she turned 18. I started just training her like I would for customs, stuff that we do at customs. Even Paul drivers, she can do all that. And I mean, she's able to do all that stuff, and I'm really proud of her. I really am. And I know she probably won't ever go pro. She probably won't ever go pro. I'm telling you that. I don't think she has the toughness in her to do that, but she will be. I think she will be great doing customs. I guess we'll see. We'll see real soon.
Oh, we definitely gonna see about that for sure. And I mean, at least you gotta start somewhere, and at least the custom wells definitely be a good fit for her. And considering you have plenty of experience in that area, I guess we'll see. You never know. Maybe she'll take it to up a notch, and we'll see how that go. Well, Fantasy, I know you're a busy lady, and you got a lot of things. You got a busy weekend ahead of you, so I'm gonna let you go. And before I let you go, I am such a fan of yours that I have bought some of your customs from Sleeper Kids, where I brought one with
Thank,
with
so
you.
much.
I brought one with you versus Sumiko. I brought one with you versus the Rockettes. I brought one with you, and I think you went up against Lexi Fife for Slamming Ladies. I think I'm starting to build my fantasy collection on my
Oh,
computer.
awesome.
So so I just want to bring that up before I let you go. And
That's incredible. Thank you so much. It really, I mean, it really makes my day when someone tells me something that, they're a great fan of mine. It really makes me feel really good that I'm accomplishing something in this business. It really does. It makes me smile and it makes my day.
well, that's awesome to hear. And one more question I want to ask. You got the TWA Hall of Fame coming up. Do you have any other upcoming wrestling shows, appearances you want to promote?
I do actually. I will be in. Hold on, let me bring it up. I can't bring it up on the phone. I'm trying to think of the town. I'll be in South Carolina, and it's. I'm trying to think of the name of the town, but It's May the 18th. I've got it on my phone, but I haven't got. I haven't got it in my head. I've got May the 10th. I'm in trying to think what town that is too. Oh my goodness, I'm going blank right now. I really am. I'm sitting here. We're looking for this building, and I'm going completely blank. But I've got several things. I mean, May the 4th is the Hall of Fame show. May the 3rd, I'll be at Sumiko Dreams. May the 10th. I will post everything on my Facebook page and promote it even more. But I'm pretty booked up through May, and I also have some in July. So I'm June and July. But I can't remember all the towns and all the dates at all times to look at my phone. Everything's in there, and I'm on the phone, so I can't look.
Hey, I understand. I understand. So if everyone wants to check out Fantasy's upcoming shows and custom shoots, you can go to her Facebook page, facebook.com/the Saint Fantasy. Send her a friend request, and don't be an idiot. Be respectful. And just know that she's there to connect with fans and not any further than that. So just be nice. Don't be a douche.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Well, Fantasy, I definitely would love to interview you again in the future. And again, thank you for your time and continued success. Have a great time at Magnificent Ladies Wrestling this weekend. And again, thank you for your time.
Absolutely. Anytime for an interview, just let me know. It's my pleasure, and I appreciate it so much. Thank you so much.
You're welcome, Fantasy. You have a good night.